right, good morning, guys. We're going to start working on rounding this week. So your learning target is I am learning to round. And let's talk about the word round. So when I talk about the word round, that's a way that's going to change a number to an easier and simpler way for you to work with. So it's very similar to the number that you're changing it to. So when I round, I change the number to an easier form really to work with, okay? So you're really just rounding it and you're changing that number to something easy to work with. So I'm learning to round to the nearest tens place and hundreds place, okay? So you're learning to round to the nearest tens and hundreds for today. So there's your learning target. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some review before we start. So we're going to go over place value. I'm going to put a number up here, and I want you to tell me what that number is. Okay, so that's the number 750. In the number 750, how many hundreds do I have? I have 7 hundreds. How many tens do I have? I have 5 tens, and they're worth 50. And how many ones do I have? I don't have any ones, so I can either say plus 0 or just leave that. Also, if I can look at 750 another way, I can look at 750 and say, I have 75 tens, okay? So if I give you 75 tens blocks, that's going to equal 750, okay? And that's just another way that you can use place value to show you 750. All right, now I'm going to practice rounding using a number line. The number I'm going to round is 526. I'm going to round 526 to the nearest tens. So I'm going to list down here the side all my tens. So that's 10, you can count with me, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then I'm going to put 100 out here to the side. So I'm just going to list those out there to the side while I round to the nearest 10. When I look at 526, I need to underline my tens place. In my tens place, I have a 2, which is worth 20. So 526 is going to fall between 520, and then what's my next 10 after 20? It's going to be 30. So 526, when I round it to the nearest 10, is going to fall between 520 and 530 on a number line. So I've got to fill in those numbers. So that's 521, 522, 523, 524, 525, 526, 527, 528, and 529, all the way to 530, okay? So now I'm going to take, since I have 526, and I'm going to round it to the nearest tens, I'm going to come on my number line and put me a little dot at 526. Okay, can you see that little dot that I have there? Now, when I'm rounding to the nearest tens, I'm going to show you a little rounding coaster, okay? 5 is at the top, so as soon as it gets to 5, you round up. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and if it ends in 10 or the 0, it's going to round up. If it's below 5, which is 4, 3, 2, 1, it rounds down, okay? So this is going to round down. That's going to round up if it's above 5. So let's look at 526. If I look at the 2, look in the 6 next to the 2, which is in the ones place. Is 6 above 5 or below 5? You'll look on your rounding heel, it's above 5. So 526 is going to round up. What's it going to round up to? 530. So when I round 526 to the nearest tens, it rounds up to 530. All right, so I've rounded to the nearest tens here. Now I'm going to round to the nearest hundreds place. The number I'm going to round to the nearest hundreds place is 632. 632. Since I'm rounding to the nearest hundreds place, I'm going to count by hundreds. So count by hundreds with me. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and then 1,000, right? Okay, so I have 632, and I'm rounding to the nearest hundreds place. Let's do our rounding hill again. So if I have my rounding hill over here, I know if it's above 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, it rounds up. If it's 4, 3, 2, or 1, it rounds down. All right? So I have that there just so that I'll have it as reference. So if I have 632, what two hundreds does 632 fall between? It's going to fall between 600 and 700. So that's going to be my endpoint. So there's 600 all the way to 700, right? So if I look at 632, if I look at the 6 there, all right, so if I count by tens, that's 600, that's 610, that's 620, that's 630, that's 640, that's 650, that's 660, that's 670, that's 680, and that's 690. 632 is going to fall about here in between 630 and 640. So let's look at 632. My 6 is in the hundreds place. If I look next door to that 3, will I round up or round down? Well, with the 3, I round down. So 632 rounds down to what hundreds place? 600. So 632 rounds to 600. That's going to be your answer, okay? So today you're going to finish the reteach page. You have a couple of problems there. You're going to use the number lines already made for you to round. If you have any questions, just message your teacher.